People want to know when this couple will be married. What will her role be? What's her name going to be? Will she get an official title?
Well, that is a big question. And the Queen's custom, as was her father's and previous monarchs before that, is that the prince would receive a new title on the eve of his wedding. And the speculation is that it would be Duke of Sussex. Could also be Duke of Connaught. Those are royal dukedoms that are presently vacant. And so that will spare her the ignominy of being referred to as Princess Harry, because that would be her title otherwise. So she will become the Duchess of Sussex or the Duchess of Connaught if he's created a duke, which is the custom. So that is what we're looking forward to seeing. Now, I think it's really interesting, two interesting things on the wedding date and location. Spring makes it really tricky, because, you know, the Duchess is giving birth early in April. The royal year really heats up in the middle of May, so there's a very small window in there. We have Easter in there as well. So there's all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be really tricky to see how the date was scheduled. Last week, we did see the Queen receive the Dean of Westminster for a courtesy call at the palace, so maybe it was discussed at that time. My money's still on St. George's Chapel at Windsor, but we'll see. The other thing is that the Archbishop of Canterbury today issued a statement, and he referred to the couple taking their vows before God. So it's very clear it's going to be a church wedding, a very religious affair. So that is kind of two things that I think are kind of interesting. But really, the moment, the speculation is always going to be about the wedding, obviously, then the dress, those sorts of things. We've had some confirmation today that they're going to continue living at Nottingham Cottage on the grounds of Kensington Palace.
If the wedding is, in fact, at St. George's, what does that tell us about the size? Is this going to be a grand affair or something smaller?
It is going to be a smaller affair. For a lot of reasons. I mean, he is not a direct heir to the throne. Today, he's fifth in line. He will be sixth in line after he has a new nephew or niece by the time he's married. So that really changes the importance of the dynastic significance, what we call as of this marriage. So that's going to be an issue. So I think it will kind of limit maybe the foreign invitations. But of course, we're going to have a large American contingent at this wedding because of the fact that she is an American citizen at the moment. And of course, that's another question we're going to be looking for an answer to. Is she going to take up full British citizenship, and when? So these are all kind of questions that are swirling around them. But, you know, I think it's going to, you know, obviously going to be huge public interest, huge interest in the United States in this particular wedding, huge interest in Canada and particularly Toronto, because we've sort of accepted Meghan as one of our own because she's lived here for so many years and she's been prominent in the streets of Toronto filming that show, as well as, you know, at various events in Toronto over the years. She has a lot of Toronto friends.
What role will the royal family play in their nuptials?
Well, I mean, you know, obviously the entire royal family will be present. They'll play. I would be surprised if William wasn't maybe the best man, you know, as Harry was for his own brother's wedding. There may be children, George and Charlotte, who might be going to training for Flower Children. I think George already played that role at Pippa Middleton's wedding. So he's got some experience in being sitting still and being quiet. So we'll see them all quite prominent. Again, it will depend on the setting where the wedding is, but I think there's no doubt it's going to be at a really established location. So it's going to have a very strong connection with the royal family and with the Queen and in particular.
Richard, thank you so much. We'll be speaking with you throughout the morning. Appreciate your analysis and expertise as always.